5-Minute Mom. So here we are, 2020, and crazy things are happening, and it's probably just going to get crazier the closer we get to the election. And I've heard people say, and I think it's true, that more than a political battle this year, it is a spiritual battle. And I've really felt that since the beginning of the whole COVID scare, especially like when the churches were shut down, like completely shut down through Easter, through Lent, through Holy Week, through Easter. Yeah, I don't want to go off on that too much, but I really did feel, that this was and is a spiritual battle, and I still feel that way. And so I just wanted to say something about that and tie it in with homeschooling. So the way I experience it, and I feel like if you were a strategist, it'd be a good way to attack the human person, is you're going to attack first what's most important and necessary to them. Some people might think food, water, whatever, but you know what? What really we need is human connection. And I am talking about the connection between people that we live with. So if you're feeling super annoyed with your spouse, if every little thing seems to get under your skin, if you're getting upset for really no good reason, or maybe it is a good reason, but your reaction is like 5 times or 10 times or 50 times what it needs to be right now, your spouse, your children, your siblings, your coworkers, your close coworkers, even friends, if you're feeling this division there and you're feeling this angst and you don't really know why, it doesn't make sense, you just, take a minute and say a prayer. A real quick prayer. Not today, Satan. Jesus in my heart always. Even just saying the name of Jesus. Jesus in my heart always. Take a breath. Let it out. And stop and think. Is this really important? What's more important? This point that I'm making, or this frustration and anger that I'm feeling, or my relationship with this person? Take a minute and just, maybe tell your kids, I'm sorry. I'm having a bad day. I'm overreacting. And what I need is a hug. Because whether or not you need a hug, they always need a hug. Spouse, kids, whatever. So I think the spiritual battle comes first in division within the closest relationships. And here's why. Because if I can undo your peace of mind, if I can undo the one place where you're supposed to feel safe and comfortable and at peace, if I can destroy that, that's going to affect everything else. So, kind of heavy, sorry. But I'm experiencing it. I think other people are experiencing it. And I think it's something to be aware of, that yes, this is a spiritual battle. And yes, we need to be praying and fasting and doing all of those things that are what we're called to as Christians. What a time we live in, that this is the battle that we're fighting. What a weird year this is. But to recognize it's those immediate situations that normally bring us peace, that normally bring us consolation, that we have to fight for. We have to fight to maintain that peace. And we shouldn't be fighting against each other. We should be fighting for each other, if that makes sense. I shouldn't be angry and impatient and fighting against me, because I should, right now, they're experiencing all of this the same way we are, except it doesn't make any more sense to them than it does to us. In fact, we can kind of try and convince ourselves that some aspects of this year might make sense somehow in a science fiction novel. But for them, it makes even less sense. There's no nuance to a 5-year-old way of thinking. It's black and white. And, so yeah. So anyway, let's not fight the people that help us have security and peace. Let's fight for them instead of fighting with them, if that makes sense. And so here's how it plays in homeschooling. I'm right at 5 minutes, and it's quiet time. So my kids are actually all awake. They're just in their rooms with their devices, because we do tablets for quiet time, because that's how Mama gets her quiet time. Anyway, tangent. So how this relates to homeschooling is homeschooling can be really rough, especially when you have kids that are of different ages, and you have kids that are toddlers, or like a baby that's like learning to climb literally the walls and loves to tear papers up and things like that. It can be overwhelming, it can be frustrating, and it can lead to some days where you just literally want to like throw your hands up in the air and say, forget it, like we're done. And sometimes you can rally and put on some fun music and sing a song, or take a break and read some books on the couch. And some days you need to do something else. You need to get up and everybody go for a walk, right? Grab a paper bag and go out and find some nature and put it in it. And when you get home, make a big thing of art with it, or whatever, a big thing of art. You can tell, like, this kind of stuff is not in my normal, like, I'm not good at making big things of art. So that's what I do. Paper, glue, go get some sticks. But the point is this: some days you might need to just put it all away and do something to lighten the load for everyone. Do something fun. And that day of homeschooling is you, as my child, are the most important thing. And your mental health is the most important thing right now. So the other thing that I have told parents, when this was back when the shutdowns first started and kids were at home and they were trying to do online school at home, or packets of school being sent home. And I said, don't worry about trying to teach it the way the teacher teaches it. And don't worry about your child having to do all of this work at the table on their own in a certain amount of time. With homeschooling, the benefit is, or even like online schooling with your kid, it can be hard, but the benefit is it can happen anytime during the day. Personally, for my kids, it's better if we do it in the morning, but sometimes it might be after dinner when all the other kids go to bed that I have a chance to sit down with my oldest and say, hey, let's go over this again. Let's work on this one thing, just you and me, right? If you have a third grader who's got a list of triple digit subtraction with borrowing, or whatever they call it now, I don't know what they call it. They used to call it borrowing. That's what I call it. Sit down with them, and if they're struggling, just sit and say, I am going to help you. I am going to sit right here next to you. I am not going to let you fail. I'm not going to let you fail at this. I will work every single problem with you. And then you do. You have a pencil, they have a pencil. You find a quiet space and time. It doesn't have to be between 8 and 3 o'clock. It can be whenever you have backup, whenever the other kids are in bed. And you work those problems, and you let them know, like God gave you a smart brain. Sometimes we have to do things that are hard and do them again and again until our brain gets it, and it becomes just a normal response to 3-digit subtraction. And I'm probably saying that all wrong. The teachers are probably like, oh, that's like not the right way to say it, but whatever. But let them know, I'm not going to let you fail. Like, I'm your teacher now. I am the education system. Crack myself up. Anyway, so I hope you enjoy watching me make myself laugh. So the point is, I am praying for you. Let's all pray for each other. 10-minute mom today, just about. God bless you. Good measure, packed down, flowing over. And like and subscribe. And forgive. Forgive, forgive. Say you're sorry all the time for, every little thing. And teach your kids to say they're sorry and then forgive. I did a whole video on forgiveness. I forgive you. I release you. You owe me nothing. As many times as you need to say it. Sometimes with kids, if they've had things held against them by parents or by their siblings, you're going to have to say it a lot. You owe me nothing. It's gone. It's wiped clean. You're acting in God's image when you say, I forgive you. I release you from that offense. You owe me nothing. It's done. So anyway, that's a Danny Johnson thing. That's not mine to come up with that. That's from her. That's from her training. So anyway, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. And that's it. I already said my little tagline thing. You know, the thing.